What's good, everybody? This is the TFNMP podcast with your host, DJ Punch.
And I'm the coolest motherfucker on the planet, CoolAzzCam.
And as always, this episode and all episodes are brought to you by Innovative Culture. Make sure you follow Innovative Culture on Instagram at innovative.culture. While you at it, follow the podcast at the TFNMP podcast. And while you got your fingers on the phone, go ahead and follow your boy at I am DJ Punch, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the whole Shabam Boo, baby. Where they following you at, Cam?
Y'all can follow me at CoolAzzCam. That's COOLAZZCAM.
Yes, sir. And as always, we got a special guest in the fucking building. Now, normally I say special guest, but I say that because they come in, just getting to know them. I say special guest today because we got family in the fucking building, bro. This man had a big part in me growing up and being the ain't shit person and the good person that I am. Both portions. We got the homie Sylvon in the fucking building. What's good, bro?
What's good? What's goody?
You want to give your social media, anything like that? You want to plug anything?
Simple Sylvon Marshall, SYLVON MARSHALL. That's Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, all that cool shit. I don't have a TikTok, so I'm not on that motherfucker.
You don't got a TikTok? You ain't doing dances?
I'm not on that rabbit hole, dog. Instagram has enough rabbit hole for me with the shit they put from TikTok. Then people talking about TikTok, just like YouTube and Google, you can do anything, learn how to do anything in a motherfucker. I'm good. I'm not trying to be on TikTok at 10 and look up it's 4 in the morning. Y'all got me fucked up. I got to work.
Yeah, I done got caught doing some shit like that.
Exactly why I don't have
It's
that
a
shit.
rabbit hole, bro. It's a rabbit hole.
Exactly.
And you be on Twitter still?
Yeah.
Twitter is a thing I can't, ever since, like, I don't want to say 6 years ago, I completely fell off Twitter.
No,
I turned 30 and then was like, all right, let me see what Twitter talking about. And then I hopped off maybe like 6 months later. It just wasn't, it wasn't doing it for me no more.
You just got to know what to look at, bro. We can have that conversation later.
I'm about to ask what your Twitter timeline looked like, but I think I got a good idea.
Nah, bro. That's off camera talk.
It's rare. For me, like, I post on Twitter, but it's because it's linked to, like, Instagram and Facebook.
Like, I post on it because it is linked to my Instagram and Facebook. Mm-hmm. But I am on Twitter. I do retweet stuff, like sports stuff, funny shit.
So you'll go on there and scroll through your timeline.
Scroll through this shit when something happened to catch my eye when I'm scrolling through my real timeline, but... I retweet shit. I'm kind of active on it low key, but I really don't like get on there and start Twitter rants. I just say whatever for IG and just post it on there.
I kind of like your rants. Maybe you need to start doing your Twitter rants.
That's why we're here today.
It's not my Twitter. It's my IG rants that just go on Twitter.
First, before we get into that, bro, a little background on what you do.
Actually, it's crazy. I just talked to my homeboy about this.
I'm here. You're about me.
Nah, we ain't talking about you. You're a different part of my life.
The about me section.
Your about me section on your profile, bro.
My bad. I just talked to my homeboy in June. It'll be 15 years for me, but I do promotions and marketing. I currently work at Epic Records. My title is West Coast Director of Urban Promotions and Lifestyle. I've been there going on 5 years in May. Then, like I said, end of June, it'll be 15 years I've been in the business. But as you know, I grew up in the business for years because of my father. But yeah, that's my background.
It's your background. And when did you say you get started?
End of June 2007. That's when I started.
15 fucking years, bro. I couldn't see myself doing or being at somewhere for 15 years. I understand maybe being in the business.
That's what I mean. I've been in the business for 15 years. Only been at Epic for 5.
Okay.
But before I got to Epic, or going on 5, before I got to Epic, I was 10 years an independent contractor. Mm-hmm. But I've been in a business as a whole for 15 years, but only been at Epic at 5.
Yeah, I mean, you've always been fucking grinding, bro. I've been at clubs and this motherfucker done pulled up. He'll slide me a song, but like, hey, I'm playing this real quick for your boy.
That's part of the job.
That's probably the first time that I learned about that point blank period. And I used to like when you send your homies, and your homies would come, and they come and they slip me the little foldable kind of bread, on the side right there, and I play the song.
The foldable
kind. CoolAzzCam didn't. So he was be the promoters at the clubs that I was doing that at, but he didn't know I was over there getting me my little bread on the side.
You gotta hustle.
Play that one song.
You supposed to hustle.
What was the whole purpose of doing that? Because I would kind of gauge it and see where we were at, but like, what was the whole mindset behind even putting that out there to do that?
Not for me. Only speak for me. It was part of the job. Like I was getting paid to go to clubs, get records played. It's called Street Team of Lifestyle Marketing. I was hired by independent labels or artists, and I was hired by independent labels, artists, and major labels. Most of my bread came from the major labels to promote their records in the clubs in LA. Because at the end of the day, the streets, the clubs, the people are still a factor. Because a lot of records don't make it to radio, but they hot in the streets. And in LA, which is a hard market for radio overall, sometimes a record, all the traction they get is the clubs and the streets. That's the only traction they get. They don't get nothing else. So that was the point of it. And it was a monster created before. Like, they been doing street teams since the 80s. Yeah. You know, like mid to late 80s. You know, it just evolves with the times. You know, now we got social media with it. When I started, there wasn't no social media like this. Now you have social media to market your clients for people who still do it and stuff like that. Like, y'all both follow me, so you know, like, even today, we went back to the office at Epic. They had a big Future's new single. I posted that because it's like, yo, that's our #1 single at Epic for my department. So it's just stuff like this, different stuff like that. And I feel like even though social media is the worst and the best thing ever created, because it's the biggest street. It gives you to what's 8 billion people in the world potentially to reach. Yeah. You know, it's the biggest street in the world. And when stuff used to take time to get over to places from America or vice versa to come to America, the internet world has made everything instant. If it drops here, it's dropping in Japan, UK, China, at the same time. It's no
you
delay.
don't have a gap of time period before you gotta get over. You know?
So once you got a fan base wherever you at and you release something, it hits the markets instantly. Before we had CDs and vinyl, it took time to cross over, and some DJ maybe visited America, or even some tours visited America, heard a record and took it back over and spread it. That's not a problem no more. That's what the internet and social media has given people and as artists in the world, is the accessibility to the world, but at the same time, it's so much fuckery, fakeness, clout chasing, that it, to me, it dilutes the purpose you could use it to be successful as an artist.
So in order for somebody to get the backing, let's say, of promotion, like when you were independent, right? How would they have to approach you in order to hire you to do that? Because I'm pretty sure you get way left messages talking about
I get way left messages, and I just ignore them. And I would say for anybody to approach anybody in this business on my level, you know, be human. Don't come with that I'm the hottest nigga shit. I know we're going to get into that later. Yeah. I got the hottest record. I run the streets, because no, you don't. If you did, you wouldn't be here. Or two, I already know who you are. And I have no idea who the fuck you are. Right. I'm not completely tapped in. Don't get me wrong. But if you hot in L.A., and I'm just talking about L.A. We ain't talking about all the other connections I have across this nation. I'm talking about just L.A. If you're hot in L.A., somehow, some way, between all the fucking DJs I know,
somebody's
gonna put me up on you. And be like, yo, bro, you need to be on this shit.
So word of mouth is still a factor when it comes to music.
Big factor.
What's the biggest issue as far as breaking through in L.A.? Because I know you said it's difficult to break through in L.A. Because I know there's 2 different routes that you can take.
I mean, we gonna say that I didn't say it was difficult.
Okay, what's
what I said was, so we here because of a rant I did last week. Yeah. Let's give everybody the context. Yeah. Oh, we're not getting to that yet?
We're not getting to it. I'm just kind of getting a little background, and then we're going to bring it in.
I thought that was part
Let me do my job, Sylvon. Damn, let me do my job.
Shut up. Okay, so what's the question again? Because I feel like that's part of the goes into the rant part. Yeah. What was the question?
So I originally said what makes it so difficult to break through in L.A., and then you said it's not necessarily difficult to break through in LA. You said that you were going to quote yourself what you said earlier.
Yeah, that's what I thought was part of the rant.
That's cool. We can get part of the rant. That's gay shit.
I believe, you know, niggas got to get out their own egos. I know, and everybody say, oh, that's every city. And that's true. But at the end of the day, I'm born and raised in LA. I'm an East Side baby till I die. I grew up in Florence, Maine. So it's like, I'm talking from my city as a LA native. Niggas got to get off their egos, and niggas got to get off their colors, meaning blood, crip. And I'd rather get into the rest of it when we get into the rant part. But to sum it up, that's it.
Oh, okay.
But I'd rather, because it's something I said in my rant that specifically pertains to that I did leave out of it, and I thought about it later. But to shorten it up, niggas gotta get their egos, and niggas gotta get out their street politics. Not street politics, but street code, their colors, and always want to gang bang or something. So
it's like basically getting your own. Y'all getting your own way.
Yeah,
it's basically what it's basically.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that's what it is.
Shit. Well, shit. Let's get into the rant, man. What originally? Let's go ahead and bring it up.
Oh, shit, I forgot we got all this
Shit, we got technology, bro.
We got technology like a motherfucker. I forgot about this.
He said, one of the biggest problems with the LA music scene industry, besides artists who don't listen and think they know everything, is our so-called music panels, conferences, etc., and it be full of nobodies. A very select few do it correctly and have credible people who can give you real gems and guidance. Most of these shits be filled with nobodies, point blank, absolutely no real. Credits to their name. LA has been so fake and trash. That goes for transplants and natives alike. I'm definitely open to smoke on this topic.
Any smoke
On this topic, because ain't too many people who can go against my resume and really put points on the board. Okay, so when I see something like this, right, like when I read it, what I really, to me, saw, because I focus on the conferences for real, right? Because I've been to a lot of those conferences. I've showed up, I've looked at the panels, and I've done the same thing that you do in right here, where you're like, who? And it's like you do the background check on them too, and it's still, who? Like, even if I don't know your name, if I could look you up and you have credits to your name, and
it's gonna show.
It's gonna show, and I'm gonna understand, and I'm gonna be able to receive these gems and guidance. But if a person that's ignorant to the fact and doesn't understand that, they're gonna walk into that thinking they about to whatever. A lot of these places are pay to play, anyways. You know what I mean? So you just got.
So it's like, it's funny because I'm looking at the comments again, and the ones that are shown out is like everybody know who Glasses on and feel like Jay Sleazy. He's an artist out of Compton doing his thing. That's Punch. That King. Pookie, everybody know Pookie. Mm-hmm. Pun, like, yo, if you don't know who Pun is, especially as you're a producer, that's my point of why the conferences be so fucked up. Marquise, that dude's one of the biggest promoters in Hollywood. Marwan, that's my man for Dash Radio, and just seeing those up there.
The resumes are in his comments.
Yeah, so it's just like
Jay Hustle, shout out Jay Hustle.
So in retrospect, what I mean, I guess for that post is, I feel like the post says enough for itself, but we're in LA. Mm-hmm. Every major fucking label, every fucking major agency, everything major, from TV to sports to music to entertainment, is out here with the number 2 market in the world, behind New York. Every music label has an office in LA and New York. It's mandatory. Mm-hmm. And no one is reaching out to nobody at these labels. I don't give a fuck if it was an assistant. Mm-hmm. To the department head. Y'all putting these people on, and this is the bad part about social media. Mm-hmm. You put on all these people on these panels and conferences that are struggling to even make it. They just make it look good for the gram because you don't see their real life. Mm-hmm. Everything gold ain't glitter, or however it said it. Glitter ain't, whatever the fuck the saying.
Glitter ain't gold.
Yeah. Yep. It's a lot of pretending and fake. And that brought up because I was watching somebody else's panel in another city. I'm not going to say no city or no name. But I was watching other people's panels, and everybody on that panel I fucking knew. Mm-hmm. Didn't have to research them. I either heard of them or I knew them. Mm-hmm. Then I look at the LA panels, and it just be, again, a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah. Well, that's just like the showcases that they used to throw. I remember showing up to plenty of showcases. I used to DJ showcases where I would know off top, like, yo, this was a scam.
And it is what it is. But people don't know because they get caught up into a motherfucker with a good mouthpiece who got a lot of followers and all this shit and all that. So it's like, okay.
Well, what do you say to the people that say, well, fuck it, that's just a part of the game? I know you're trying to maybe limit it, but at some point you have to accept maybe that it's a part of the game.
That you're a dumbass?
That you a dumbass. Yeah, there's a lot of gullible people out here.
If it's part of the game and you falling for it, what point does your common sense, intuition, your smartness, whatever you want to call it, comes into play? Mm-hmm. You can't sit and say that's part of the game to get scammed. Like, no, nigga, that's the case. Nigga, go give the greatest scam your credit card information. Let that nigga run free in the wild.
Well, you don't think that would lead somebody to be like, all right, they ain't going to get me this time?
I mean, of course people going to say that, but at the end of the day,
people say
another great.
Hey, listen, I say this shit because...
Great tool. Like you said, Google somebody.
Yeah.
Research somebody. Ask around.
You can see how legit they are. You can do your homework. Yeah,
you can do your homework. You could do your homework like a motherfucker.
The scary part is how legit you can make something look in a flyer. Or in an email.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean? It can look like the most legit shit, and it can be
out
in the streets.
But then again, most, and this is common sense, And it could be even a fact of you just don't know. Mm-hmm. In most corporate world and corporate businesses, the email address is the company. Mm-hmm. My email address is blah blah at Epic Records or blah blah at Sony Music. Mm-hmm. Every label is gonna have either the distribution company in their email, or they're going to have the record label name. Mm-hmm. Same thing for a TV studio, Sony Pictures. Same thing for if we was working internally at Wingstop, it'll be blah blah at wingstop.com. That's their email. Mm-hmm. So after a certain time and age, and you realize this, why are you falling for a Gmail email talking about I represent X, Y, and Z?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's bullshit.
Because you're so thirsty to be in the spotlight, you'll be idiot and dumb. Mm-hmm. Anything official in any world of business is not coming from a Gmail, a Yahoo, AOL, anything like that. It's coming from
the website.
A company email. Yeah. Period. Not the website. That's different. Website's not the company. Mm-hmm. It's just a facial portrayal for the company. Because remember, even emails wasn't always here, but they've been around longer than the internet. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if it's not coming from a company email, if that's whatever company is supposed to be representing, at what point is the common sense like, why is this coming from a Gmail, Yahoo, whatever?
You're supposed to be official. You told me you work for so-and-so and so-and-so.
And if this is who you say you are, then your email, all your contacts should reflect that.
Yeah. Definitely reflect that. And I'm not saying no one and I'm just talking about, even though it's corporate business, but we talking about music business.
Yeah, right.
No one in the music business is sending an official email out without it being attached to the official work email. Yeah. Period. Ain't no, it's not gonna happen.
So what do you say a lot of this attributes to? Is it just the lack of artist development? I know you say common sense, period, but like even outside of that, because you're gonna end up having to deal with a lot of different artists anyways. How do you get around that? How do you protect from that happening? How do you stop that from happening? How do you limit?
I mean, for artists, I think it's having a team of competent people around you. Because sometimes people, even established, have a team of incompetent people around them. So I think it starts having that team around you, and then getting your head out your own ass and being open. Basically hearing shit you don't want to hear.
I think that goes into the next slide right here.
What? Look. To all the LA artists, I don't care if you're a native or a transplant out there, get your fucking head out your ass and learn how to properly politic with the real LA music business. Fuck all that. I'm the hottest nigga out my shit. Got the street/club going. It's all cap and we know it. We can call all the right people and really pull your card locally and national. For me, there isn't one city I can't call someone and check any artist's resume in that city. So because of the internet, you say because of your resources, but because of the internet as well, you can pull somebody's card and find out exactly what's going on.
I mean, yeah, you can, because it'll translate. If you popping, you have followers. If you popping, you have streams. If you popping, you have YouTube views. If you're popping.
But there's a whole business in making you look popping on the internet. That's when you have to do that second step, huh?
That's where the second step will come in if you have the resources. But what I'm saying is, for example, and if he watches these page, you know I'm talking about him, and I really don't care. I was in the club one day with DJ Charisma. Some dude's in my ear. I got the hottest record in LA, blah, 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 whoop, whoop, whoop. And he's trying to show me all my DJs, my club DJs playing this shit. And I'm like, all right, dog, cool. Send me your record. Let me listen to it. I'll let you know what it is. And I'm saying it because I just want to get him on my face, get him on my ear. I gave him my DM. He shot me the record, gave me my email. Actually, I put my number in his phone because I seen him around. So I was like, let me just see him. But then I listened to the record, and it just automatically took me out there. And the record is kind of solid. I'm not even going to lie. It's not all the shit he's talking, of course, but it's solid. But then it was like, yo, I hate this shit. Like, don't. And I don't think you should approach anybody like that. But he didn't know me from a can of pen at the same time. He probably just seen me around. Because he asked me if I DJ, and I told him, no, I'm not a DJ. I just work records. And I don't know why he felt like he had to tell me he had the hottest shit, but it's just like, no artist claims they got the hottest shit. I ain't saying I don't have confidence in you, but the people make your shit hot.
That's the true testament. At the end of the day,
if the people like it, they be questioning your shit, they streaming your shit, they watching your videos, you hearing it. The people make you hot.
So I think that a lot of this happens because of the independence that's been going on. A lot of people don't.
But I'm not mad at the independent hustle. But understand, that don't mean you hot.
Mm-hmm.
You hot, but you got 1,000 fucking monthly listeners on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
I could show you a hot independent artist.
There's plenty of hot independent artists. Yeah,
There's plenty.
I think.
But I ain't calling them hot. They're not calling themselves hot in the beginning. Or if they are calling them hot, it's because they got the stats to prove it.
Mm-hmm.
They're making 100,000, 200, a couple 100,000 streams, maybe even low millions, 900,000.
Mm-hmm.
The people make the artist hot, not the artist, because there's a lot of great music out here that we don't hear.
Yeah.
Because they're not getting it out there, or because what the consumer want. So don't get me wrong.
Is there a difference in what like labels are looking for these days? Because I know back in the day, it would be a situation where you would a label would develop an artist.
No, there's really no artist development. There's no artist development. You got to come, with momentum, things going, record going. Not even radio, but even just streaming, because streaming is so big. Just a movement going.
So don't you feel like a lot of that would fix some of this shit? The artist development part? Because people are trying to jump into it. That's what I mean independently. Because people are jumping into it independently, they're doing it blindly and ignorantly.
But you can't. It takes a lot of money to develop artists. Mm-hmm. Media training, this, that, and the third.
It's an investment.
It's an investment. And it don't work out. Regardless, it's not. And it's just like, as the industry, jobs at labels shrunk, certain departments have to be cut. And that was just an unfortunate thing that had to be cut. Because when you're trimming the fat, you got to trim the fat from the least important that you prioritize to the most important.
Yeah. Well, if you're thinking about a business period, right, you want a business to run efficiently, you would want to find an employee who already knows how to do what you want them to do. So I think that's how the label sees things. If they see an artist that has already learned on their own how to do a lot of this stuff, and it's like, now I can bring you in, now I can back you, because I don't have to worry about you or teach you as much as I used to.
There's still stuff you got to worry and teach because they still don't know. But like I said, we just want to take something. If it's a fire starting, we just want to throw gasoline on that bitch. That's all.
That's the main objective now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So how artists from other cities and states have better relationships in our city than LA artists? You damn sure can't go to their cities and move around correctly and with the right people. Hell, y'all niggas don't even travel to the Bay to network. Cali is the only state with 2 top 5 markets. The answer, entitlement. Fucking with the wrong people, as stated in my first post. Don't travel outside y'all hood, just to name a few.
That's crazy because we just talked to somebody yesterday who said that they moved to Atlanta from LA and they had to learn the hard way. Like, I gotta move how they move. Because we come from LA and we go over there, we move there and we're arrogant about it. He's like, we don't settle in their culture or even like move correctly when we're in their culture because we're so arrogant about it. When other people come here, they kind of have to settle. They end up settling into LA culture instead of trying to force their culture on us.
But that's not where that comes from. What I mean by that post is, if you go to some artist city, they run the city.
Yeah.
They get in any club. They could get a check. They could do whatever. LA artists can't do that in their own clubs. But this is what I said earlier. When I said I feel like this goes to what I said, because niggas want to gangbang. I ain't saying if you want to make music for yourself in your hood, I'm not knocking that. Do you? I promise you, I'm not knocking that. But if you're trying to do this to make some money and take care of your family, remember, people forget this is a music business.
It's a job.
Yeah.
You showing up to work. Like when you pull up to an event, something like that, it's work.
So it's like you have Pop Warner, any sport, Pop Warner, high school, college, then the pros when the millions come in. You spend all that time as a kid learning the game, learning how to act as an athlete, how to behave on the field, off the field, finding your own game. If you are a shit talker, you finding yourself. Once you cut that check, it's business, baby. We talk about millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Records, Hall of Fame, whatever the fuck you want to call it. The GOATs, the greats. It's business. People forget this is business. This is all a hobby. So because it's a business, that means there's a consumer. Just like in sports. Some people only watch football. Some people only watch soccer. Some people want to watch baseball. Some people want to watch basketball.
But they go out and get jerseys.
But there's a consumer. That's what the merch part, the jerseys merch, the artist merch. But there's a consumer. The consumer is way bigger than the 10 people you know and the 50 people in your hood. Because we're in LA, right? As a football city. We even before the whack ass charges, they go back to San Diego. No disrespect, I just never liked them in LA. Growing up, we had the Raiders and the Rams. That's LA Rams, LA Raiders. That's when I grew up. Even though they came from Oakland, they came in Oakland like 80 something. But when I got conscious of football, I had LA Rams, had LA Lakers. LA is split football wise between the Niners, LA Rams, Cowboys,
Raiders,
and LA Raiders. Even now, even when they left to St. Louis, you still had your diehard Rams fans. Even with Raiders going to Oakland and now go to Vegas, you have your diehard Raider fans.
Even with Dallas, they just diehard.
Dallas the America's team. They named the American teams for a reason. They got the most fans nationally across any state. And then the Niners, even though you're not from the Bay, we do have a lot of Bay people that live here, but some niggas just like the Niners.
Because in the 90s when they were winning them championships,
Steve Young, or if we go back to Joe Montana, John Taylor, Jerry Rice, T.O. when he's over there, Elvis Grbac. So we have a melting pot of teams like any state, but we're split sport-wise. I think more than any other state, we're split. So it's like, how do you tap in to that in your city? How can an artist from Atlanta, Chicago, New York, whatever, come here, get connected with the right people, and pop? Because there's no sense of entitlement. They're not fucking with the wrong people. They traveling outside their hood. And they making music for the consumer. They're not making music for themselves and their hood.
And the homies.
And the greatest example, because this is the one argument everybody say, Nip stayed true to himself, and you're absolutely fucking right. But where the fuck was his singles? They wasn't on that. He might have spelled last time I checked with 2 C's, but it wasn't really no gang banging. Dedication wasn't no gang banging. What's the one with Belly that blew up? Double Up. Wasn't no gang banging.
You're right.
There's a difference between singles and albums. I mean, single cuts and album cuts. There's always been a difference. That's what they call singles that lead into an album. It's always been a difference. Look at Roddy Ricch. His first 2 projects. On the album, he crippin'. But in his singles, he's not crippin'.
He making money for the consumer.
Same thing with YG. When YG releases his commercial records for the consumer, he does well. When he releases his gang bang blood music, it don't do too well because a lot of people can't relate to our culture. Our gang banging blue and red is different from blue and red in New York or Atlanta, where other people claiming flags that started sub hoods.
What's the difference? Because I haven't traveled, so I don't know the difference.
To me, the difference is it started here. Where women doing 30, 40, 50 years, and some people got 10, 15, 20 years, it's engraved in our culture. Gang banging is L.A. culture. Crips and Bloods is L.A. culture. Same thing with the Mexican gangs, the same thing with the Asian gangs, because we got a big Mexican. Like I think I said before, Mexicans make up 80 to 85% of the population in Los Angeles.
But people in LA, right? If you grew up in LA, if you was born, lived your whole life out here, even if you don't gangbang, you're gonna move a certain type of way.
You are,
because
depending on where you grew up with.
How shit goes around you, you know your environment.
Yeah, you're a product of your environment. We don't wear certain hats. It's different now, because like I said, I'm 39, so I grew up in a different area. You couldn't wear certain colors. You couldn't wear certain places. Now it's kind of more lax. You could be more free to express yourself how you dress. But there's some place you couldn't go and wear certain stuff and certain hats. And you would get pressed fucking hard. No disrespect to nobody out there, because I know there's some real niggas out there hidden doing shit that's 20, 21, 25. But the pressing issue, I'm sorry, it's different because we didn't have social media. Ain't no pressing on social media. You find a nigga phone, you might talk shit, y'all meet up, squabble.
Yeah.
Shoot it out, whatever the case may be. And it's real action. It wasn't all this.
It wasn't that back and
It
forth.
wasn't that back and forth we see on social media.
And that's what it be nowadays. It's like, instead of like getting the situation taken care of, they kind of just want to go back and forth to see how bad they can humiliate each other or get their followers
Exactly.
up.
That's the clout chasing you talking about.
That's the clout chasing part of it. So it's like, you know, and then they feel entitled that you have to fuck with them because they from the city. No, you don't. Nobody from nobody's city, whether it's home or you out or you are outside, has to fuck with anybody. I don't have to take your shit. The radio doesn't have to play your shit. The clubs don't have to play your shit. You got to work for it.
That's the entitlement part you
That's
talk
the
about.
entitlement.
What do you think got them to this point though? Because you feel like it's
just
always
that whole
been like
generation.
that?
It's just that whole generation. That whole young generation is fucked up to me. I'm sorry. They're just full of people who feel like they're entitled, and it just is what it is.
Everybody feel like they Jordan, right?
Facts. Jordan or LeBron on this bitch. I don't know.
So I think about it this way. I don't want to say everybody is Jordan, but if you're passionate about something, whether you suck or not, if you're passionate about something, shouldn't you be walking around like you Jordan? Maybe not with all the ignorant, stupid shit, but shouldn't you be walking around like you Jordan?
It's a difference between confidence and arrogance. I got to be confident when I talk to everybody every day, but I'm not arrogant about it. I might be an asshole, but I'm not arrogant. That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
You can't come up to me. You don't know me from an Adam or Eve, but you can't come up to me and be like, yo, I'm the hottest shit out. If you hot out, you don't need to introduce yourself to me.
Yeah, I know the name.
I know who you are from your videos. That's even as a consumer. Standing around a bunch of niggas saying I'm the hottest shit. And your homeboy I never met before, you just brought him around because we all kicking it, don't know who the fuck he is. If you hot, people gonna know who you are.
Yeah. So you basically saying focus on yourself. Before you want to reach...
And have humility. Like, yo, like I got good music. I'd rather you say you got good music than you the hottest motherfucker out. I got great music. My music is amazing. Because now you centralize into yourself. You're not bringing in a circulation of a world.
A lot of that shit, though, these days is cookie cutter. Because I'll even say the way we get hit up for interviews for podcasts is they'll DM us. It's all one laid out fucking statement that they just cut and paste to everybody. So I think, oh, I'm the hottest motherfucker out. When they're approaching you, they're approaching you with a cookie cutter like script.
That's
almost.
on them.
At this point, you got to tell them, like, you got to change the script up
That's
a
on
little
them.
bit.
That's on them to learn the script. As people, again, just go back
And
to
if
the
it
fake
is a
ass
script,
finals.
and you know, if you're the best, if you're that great like you saying you are, you got the hottest thing out, then you should know your script.
That's
You
true.
know?
And even furthermore, y'all would be hitting him, not vice versa.
Right. Facts.
I don't know what is it in, because you say it's the newer generation, right?
I don't know. It's just
What
something about
changed though? Is it
them. I don't know. I have no fucking idea because I don't know.
around when do you think it did start to change? Was it when social media really started cracking?
No, I think that cuss of that generation who really invented social media and made it what it is today. Like, I feel like I'm in the era when I'm still analog and I'm digital because of my age.
Yeah, me too.
I run in both worlds. I'm talking about that pure digital that grew up with AOL.
I think it changed when everybody started getting a trophy.
That too. That's
yeah.
You know what?
That's the sense
true
of
too.
entitlement.
The sense
no
of
shit.
entitlement. Oh, you lost by
Think about
50 and you last place, but everybody get a fuck. Like, no, nigga, let the
Everybody
motherfucker
get that
lose and build
partic-
I
character.
paid my
that
money to be on the team, so I
my
still
mommy,
get
my
my
daddy,
picture and my
fuck all
trophy.
that. You're absolutely right. When we start giving these kids trophies for losing,
And now
tell
everybody
them
still
losing
think
is
they the
okay.
best.
Losing is not okay.
I
Either
think-
you're a fucking winner or you're a fucking loser. Pick one.
I think I know.
And winners lose and losers win.
And then they can't take not winning. You know what I mean?
No, they can't take not losing and not receiving a reward or reward. They're not cheering, but people tell them, "Good job, Sammy. Good
Yeah.
job, Billy. Good job." Fuck all that. They lost.
Yeah, positive reinforcement.
There we go. Thank you.
Let me
sweetheart.
pull you to the side and let you know how bad you did.
Yeah.
Well, my daddy used to do that shit, bro. When I played soccer and I had a bad game, my dad would pull me aside on the ride home. I knew that shit was gonna be terrible.
And but like, you know how to lose gracefully, and you know how to win gracefully.
You know how to take criticism.
Exactly.
You know how to
These
do all that
motherfuckers
shit.
can't. They feel entitled because they wasn't told you suck.
Listen, I think the way we fix this is by going to your friend your personal friends, if you're really their friends, go into your family members, if they're really your family members, and letting them know, hey, your music fucking suck. Stop making music.
Oh, that's not my conversation.
I'm just saying.
But
not you, but I'm saying, like, that's how we stop this.
But like we said,
like, be honest to people.
Then you got to do what you said. You got to go and travel and get out of your own, your comfort zone, get out of your hood to go and put this music out. So it may not necessarily be, your cousin or anybody else that might be
somebody in the whole other city.
It's gonna be somebody in a whole nother. It might be the people in Japan, but you won't never know if you don't go over there and push your shit.
You got to put your shit through reality checks.
Yeah, you definitely do. So it's like, yeah.
What's this right here? Y'all let these nobodies with badges in these social platforms who make it look good lie to y'all and follow them, but to you got, what does it say?
Real needle movers.
Oh, real needle movers.
You got some shout
I
outs.
know that 2 was supposed to be there, honestly. That 2.
Shout them out, bro. You got the real DJs right here.
No, this is a few. This is really, because I got some flat flicks. Oh, just damn. I'm like, just tell like, yo, shut up, people. Like, it was who I thought at the top of my head. I say this is a few names.
Oh, they'll get in the comments.
There was a
like that.
going on. They like, oh, you left me out.
They'll get in the comments. It's like, I'm trying to get off the whole point. You need to get your fucking...
No, they get into my DMs, and it's like, and I said it like, yo, I said, this is just a few, a small list of DJs, and I'm like, yo, y'all niggas get the fuck out my DMs with this bullshit. Like, come on, these motherfuckers, I know. I'm like, really? You calling me with this shit? But, like, Mowski, E-Rock, Mark the Spot, Bad, Butch, Leslie, like I said, it was very random, the names I put. They just came to my head.
Shout out to Mowski. I see him enjoying that.
And these are people who could really, possibly play your records in the clubs, give you support. Like Leslie's on 6 days, 4 or 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
she's Is she from Young California?
No, she does Young California radio, but she works at Real 92.3.
Mm-hmm.
Head was played for years, and he said that. Mm-hmm. But it's like, y'all let all these motherfuckers with these fake-ass followers who talk a good game. And this is Instagram's fault, too, but it's also, I feel like you got to do your research. Mm-hmm. Again, I come from analog, I come from digital. Yeah. I believe in research just as much as I believe in what I see. Mm-hmm. And they let all these fake motherfuckers who get a badge, they got a gang of followers, got some nice little write-ups or whatever, confuse and lie to them. Mm-hmm. It's like, I think Clubhouse was the worst shit that ever was invented.
Explain that.
Like, I never been on Clubhouse.
Okay.
And I was hearing stories of motherfuckers going and talking about, I got X amount of time with this artist, that artist. And I think I just reposted something where I say, this is the only business people could take credit for something they didn't know work. Mm-hmm. So motherfuckers lying about shit, saying this and saying that. And I'd be looking like, I'm glad I'm not on fucking Clubhouse. Because I'd be like, nigga, who the fuck are you? Right. Because at the end of the day, like I said, you could Google me. Mm-hmm. I got plaques. I've been in it 15 years. If you really in this, you ask people about me, they know who the fuck I am, and for sure know who the fuck my father is. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you can't pull my card. Mm-hmm. Do I know everything? No. Am I the biggest nigga in the business? Far from it. Mm-hmm. But I know what goes on to make an artist pop, and what's the process, and what a label's looking for, how to promote and market a record. Mm-hmm. You don't. Yeah. So don't try to sit here and try to argue with me. Like, that's the problem. People think they know. And I swear I just saw a meme about, Nicki spoke about this in a recent interview. I want to say it was CT the guy, but I could be absolutely wrong. So if it's not him, whoever did this interview, I apologize. But she literally said to the camera, like, all y'all motherfuckers talking about shit y'all don't know. Mm-hmm. Y'all don't know how this shit work because you're not in it. You never gonna know as an artist till you get fucking signed.
Mm-hmm. Was it the one with Joe Budden? I think it was the one.
I think it was with Budden.
It was one-on-one.
That's probably the most open I've seen her in the interview.
Ever.
Comfortable.
Fucking ever.
Not putting on the Nicki face, all that shit.
Ever.
That was pretty good.
So, and I don't know if I mentioned, like for another example, I don't know if I mentioned this last time I was here. Everybody needs to watch this Beyonce documentary that came on HBO, not Homecoming. I can't remember the name of it. It came out maybe 2017. I know it's on Netflix right now.
We got the Google. But what was important to that
she
one?
She literally said after she fired her dad, she had to choose to still be in the business of ass kissing. Because no matter what, somebody's either they kissing your ass or you kissing somebody's ass. This is an ass kissing business.
The Life Is But a Dream one?
No, let me see. Is that let me see.
How you don't know it? Shout out to Milk and Media shit in the building. How you don't know the Beyonce documentary? What's going on?
2013. No, I want to say it's more.
You
know what? Yeah, I think this is it because it is with HBO and it's the only one that's with HBO. So I think it is this one.
So she said when she let go of her father.
Yeah, because remember she fired her father for being a manager. And she
Damn, that's some shit.
And she
fire pops.
And she had to figure out if she wanted to still be in the business because it's an ass-kissing business. And even though her and her father fell out over certain things, he was still that buffer to deal with that bullshit. That's what a manager really is, a buffer for a lot of shit.
Bullshit.
So I think it is that one.
Isn't that the same thing Janet said on her documentary?
Who?
Janet Jackson. Yep,
I think so.
She said the same fucking thing.
Yeah. So right. You're right. She did say it. So you have two probably the biggest females in music history.
That was another good documentary shit.
Two of them that came out and said that at some point in time in their careers, no matter who said it first and who said it last. But we know Beyonce and Janet's gonna go down with Aretha Franklin's and just that whole list of women singers. No matter the genre.
Mm-hmm.
Made all the money in the world.
Yeah.
Toured all the money in the world. Janet comes from a fucking historical musical family.
Touring all over the world and, putting on
to
sold-out
this
shows
day,
everywhere you go.
Basically what Janet and Aretha and them is doing now, but Beyonce is going to be doing. Touring off her catalog for the rest of her life.
Yep.
And these motherfuckers said it. Well, now what the fuck makes you think as an artist you bigger than them? Whatever be on a level. Let's just be real. You know how hard it takes to be on that kind of level? To be on a Drake level, a Jay-Z level, a J. Cole, a Kendrick? That's the half percenters.
Yeah. Just 1% just
to be on
in
that
the
level.
music.
To when nigga, you say your name and it rings bell across multiple things outside of music, business, sports, clothing, fashion, whatever.
Yeah. There's people who don't even listen to Beyonce music who are fans of Beyonce for other things that she does.
Jesus. Same thing with Rihanna.
They might.
Except if
Fenty.
if you're out here fighting or getting fought, because she'll fire you for the Fenty deal.
Same thing with 50. People might talk shit about 50 music, but he's like, man, fuck y'all. I got my money in music.
Yeah, I need music.
Now I start making my money in other shit, but I'm making way more money. People forget he got in his rap career, he got a $400 million check for investment with vitamin water.
I remember that.
He made more money than anybody in the business.
I saw a post. They said he got like 1,000 songs unreleased, just recording, just sitting up
because you're still an artist. Because you're still an artist, so you still have your craft and record.
You gonna want to do it, yeah.
But at this point now, it's therapeutic.
You don't have to put it out.
You don't have to put it out.
Like, he still put out music every so often. You getting royalty checks for the TV shows. Every time the show starts, it's your voice on the intro.
He do all the intros to his shit.
That was the smartest thing he could have fucking did.
Get a check, sing check every 3 months from his publisher. Check.
Damn, like, come
and
on,
check.
bro.
Then you got to remember, he still get executive producer on that motherfucker.
All that.
He's getting all types of checks.
And he putting other people on to get checks.
Then he's the TV star. Because people don't realize in TV, you get paid for every fucking title. So if you're executive producer, you're acting, you're doing music, you get paid for everything in that part.
So you get your percentages in every royalty.
You get that fee for this.
So an episode go out, you're getting all these different checks.
Exactly.
Hey, yo, we put these podcasts out. I'm about to start crediting myself for every little thing I fucking do. This motherfucker.
It's just a part of the game. So, yeah.
50 Cent, from Vitamin Water, I think that's when we started to think like, oh, that's a businessman for real.
He got the alcohol now.
Remember F and vodka?
Yeah, but he got that cognac. What is it, Bronson, something like that.
He hashtags that shit in fucking everything, bro.
He doing it.
He making stupid money. I know you watch fucking Power. I thought about doing a show on. Oh, think about that. How many careers has he launched just putting out that, and then people do reviews on that show?
How many careers has he revived by putting people on these shows? Remember the dude from the Cosby Show,
the bald dude,
Jeffrey. What's his name?
Jeffrey Owens. It was the bald. Yeah, Jeffrey Owens.
Okay, they was clowning him on social media because he was like working a regular job, right? But soon as that happened, 50 was like, nah, fuck that.
Now he
snatched him up. Now he the lawyer on Power.
I think Tyler Perry brought him back first.
Perry, yeah.
I give you that one, but he's had continuous roles on Power.
True.
Like, he's still a recurring character. So now he's back in work, doing what he want to do.
Get that bread, bro.
What's her name? Tasha. Everybody forgets she was in 3LW.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You fucked my head up just now.
Y'all didn't know
Y'all
that?
don't remember that?
Oh.
Tasha from 3LW?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
shit.
Tasha.
Bring up a side by side. Let me see Tasha then and now. Jesus Christ. That fucked my head up.
Do it again, Cam. Name another person.
Nah,
Shit.
I'm done for the day.
All right, that's right now. Okay. Let's see.
Just
3LW.
put Tasha, yeah, 3LW, watch. Bam.
Let me just.
Yep, there
That's
she goes.
her, right here.
Damn.
Oh my God.
She don't look nothing like that no more.
There you go.
Yes, she does.
No, she don't.
She look just like
That's
her.
a cold picture
That's
to the
her.
far right. That's a cold picture to the far
Look,
right.
right
with
here.
With
the left, that's her.
ponytail. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm done. That's crazy.
How many careers has he revived is what I'm saying. You know, like, it's
Yes.
people that's...
He's doing his work.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Let's get to this last part right. Let me
There
see.
you go.
Okay, I think I'm done with my LA rant. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That shit's funny as fuck. And before you even dare wonder, I'm born and raised in LA, East Side baby till I die. One of them very few people who is a native and works for a label. So I love my city. I just want us to get the respect we deserve.
Boom.
Okay, so at the end of the day, all that come from a place of love, right?
Yeah.
Because
You know that better than anybody.
I know that better than anybody because you want the shit to work. It's just difficult to get the shit to work when everybody not on the same fucking page.
Exactly. It's a reason why Atlanta's been on top for the past 20, 30 years. Ever since Outkast said the South got something to say. Could have put that battery in all them niggas back and they like, fuck all y'all. We got our lane, we got our chance, we got our first act from the South, won a hip hop awards. The biggest artist at the time from the South said, nigga, we got something to say. And them motherfuckers haven't stopped saying shit since.
That's real shit.
What do you think made them stand out from
Because they
the
help
other,
each other.
Atlanta
No.
artists at that time?
Atlanta, because they were just so fucking unique.
Because, you know, I mean, I know they had a lot of that
Yo.
bass music, the freaknik music.
You gotta remember
That
this.
freaknik
You got
music.
to remember this. They came from Dungeon Family, which is a
Yeah.
very musical, talented group.
Hell yeah.
But I think why they popped more or first or from Dungeon Family, same thing where Future comes from. I forgot which part of Dungeon Family members is Future's blood cousin. And he has Dungeon Family tattooed somewhere on it, and that's why he's so gifted musically. Because he came
He
from
grew
a
up around
very
there,
sound
been there.
musical place, if you know the Dungeon Family. But I think what made Outkast, you know, Big Boy and Dre stand out like they did at the time, they were just special, especially Andre. Like, people slouch on Big Boy, and I mean no disrespect to him, because I think he's one of my favorite artists. I love Big Boy.
Of a 3 stacks.
I love Speaker Box and the Music Love Down Below album. Like, I love them too as a group. But it's just, with all due respect, since what's that record? Southern Cattle. Fuck, you know what record?
Southern Califragilistic.
Southern
Yeah.
Playalistic
Yeah.
Cadillac
Like
music.
that
There you go.
that verse, Andre spit on that bitch. Like, come on, just come on.
It's
The whole
beginning to
flow,
look a lot
everything.
like wood.
And the bad part about it is, Big Boy spit some gangster shit on that shit. Not game, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he spit some shit. Then Andre could be just like, who the
They was like
fuck
the
are
dynamic
these
duo.
motherfuckers?
They was good, yeah.
They was putting
And they was
down.
challenging each other,
and
which
then
was
they
the best
come
part.
with the album Attiladians instead of Aliens.
That's it, yeah.
Representing nigga. Come on,
When that beat came on,
Elevated.
yeah.
come on.
Me and you.
The young man.
That was-
It's just like
Elevators.
yo.
I'm like elevators, and then you listen
But
to
you
the
don't.
song.
But you
like,
don't
okay.
get that. You don't get them without the Dungeon Family. Because again, Dungeon Family is very
Family,
musical.
yeah.
You see what CeeLo still going to this
CeeLo,
day.
yeah.
You know, CP Brown and all of the Microwave.
Goody
I think
Mob, all
I
them.
think
Yep.
that's Future's cousin's Microwave from
Microwave.
Dungeon Family.
Okay.
And I could be wrong. If I am, sorry, my bad. But you hear it in their upbringing. If you listen to the sound and the instruments they use, how they push it together, and then they put the bars to it, and the melodies and the music and the words. Sometimes you sit back and be like, oh my God, if you really listen. But damn, I got back off topic a little bit.
We basically saying all this is a show love to LA.
Oh no! So why Atlanta be running it? That's what you're trying to get to. But you asked me what they special. Atlanta runs it because they help people. They help each other. Like, you hear the story of how Gunna told Baby, "I'll pay you to get in the studio and write for me." Now, Baby's one of the biggest artists in the fucking game. You hear the story how T.I. and Savage, when Savage like, give me $1 million, like, bro, I'm about to take too much from you. You need to do it.
Yep.
Same thing he did for Thug. You know, they help each other out. Their music community is there. Of course, they have their beef. That's evident.
Yeah.
But they help more than they hurt. There's enough of them together where they help. And if you get in the right crew, you tapped into everything. Because that's one thing they do. They keep their beef to those people. Like, there's people out there who fuck with Gucci and Jeezy.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we all know they have beef. But that's between them. Everybody respects it. Out here, like I said, they got the blood and cuz. Because it start off right there, you hating on a nigga.
It's already over, yeah.
And you could have a prime example. I don't give a fuck what flack I get for this. I would love to see CoolAzzCam and Baby Stone Gorillas do a record.
Oh, shit.
I don't give a fuck. You know why? Because both of them motherfuckers hard.
Yeah.
Both of them groups hard as fuck. And for the city, I think they'll make some shit. But then the question is, can they make a fucking single?
Can they coexist
Yeah, can they
in
coexist?
the studio?
Fuck the coexist. Like, the coexist too. But you gotta remember, you can send files. They don't gotta be in the studio.
Well, whatever. All right, now let's say you get to a festival or something.
Now
where
we
niggas can
performing.
make some money. Now you got to get them on stage together to perform that song.
Hey, you know, Game recently said, and he always said in a few interviews, he got in a fight with his homies when he brought Nip on tour with him.
Yeah.
You got to take the good with the bad. But again, that's because we can't get off our own asses with Bloods and Cuz.
Yeah.
We can't get over blue and red. You know? So it's like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, you can have your beefs, but it's also like,
That's the point.
at what
LA,
point?
gotta get
At
better.
what point do we put on for the city and not ourselves? Because Atlanta put on for Atlanta. Then they just got a gang of people putting on for Atlanta that are hot.
I think here it's like, in Atlanta, it's like, yeah, I'm putting on for Atlanta. And then somebody else says I'm putting on for Atlanta. But, oh, you putting on for Atlanta too? Over here, I'm putting on for Atlanta. Nah, motherfucker, I'm putting on for LA. It was like, I'm putting on for LA. Nah, I'm putting
I
on
could
for
agree
LA.
with that.
I think that's what the biggest.
Yeah, like, there's too much clash. Niggas can't get it their own way with their egos. At the end of the, like I said, I don't know, was that post or another post? I think maybe we go back a couple of posts. It's like, okay, fine, you don't want to fuck with no one in LA. Why you not going to the Bay? You don't realize California is the only state, 2 top 5 markets. The only other state with a 2 top 10 markets in Texas, and I think that's 8 and 9 or 7 and 9, whatever.
And Texas big as fuck.
Texas is big as fuck. But in California, we're the only state with 2 top 5 markets. That means it's New York, it's us, it's Chicago, it's Frisco, and I forgot who's the 5th city. And it's not Atlanta.
Miami, Houston.
No, I don't think Atlanta's in 10. You have to pull up. Because it goes by population, the size of the market.
I will put it up.
But in retrospect, it's just like, we're the only state with 2 top 5 markets.
So there's no reason for you to not be able to at
And,
least
and
hit both.
if you ever, we fuck with E40, we fuck with the Pilo, we fuck with the Love Rents, the Sues, the you know, the people, artists from the Bay, Kamayas and all them. So why not we ain't going out there and finding this hot nigga? Because the Bay is like Texas, nigga. They got their own ecosystem.
Oh, I've been to the Bay. That shit crazy. I always feel like the Bay is like an East Coast city and the West Coast. The way it is, the way you move around and stuff like that. That's the best way I can.
Yeah, it's more Midwest because they got more relationship with Detroit. But as far as the independent hustle, just like Texas, just like in Texas, back in the CDs and album days, you could go platinum in Texas because it's so big.
Trunk and shit, yeah.
It's set up, but they're just so big as a state. But they have a very good independent ecosystem, just like the Bay, the Vallejo to San Jose to even Sac. They got a good independent ecosystem. And but you ain't going to like another thing. We're in the age of features. That's why you see a lot of the same artists doing records together and tapping into each other fan bases and going on tour together. So why can't you even just go to the Bay and find a hot nigga out there coming up and y'all collab and co-promote each other, tapping in his shit, tapping in your shit, and build.
Shit, bro. Look, before we dip, I got one question. Name 5 LA artists up and coming. Not popping. Give me 5 LA artists.
I don't got nothing for you.
You ain't got nothing for me? Popping then.
I ain't got
Give me
nothing
5
for
LA
you.
artists, bro.
Well, what's considered popping? Let's just define.
Give me 5 LA artists. Period. Like what are you listening to right now?
Well, obviously, Baby Stone Gorillas and CoolAzzCam. From LA, I'm listening to Kendrick is obvious, so I don't want to add him. Why am I drawing a blank right now?
Because ain't nobody popping like that. You see that?
No, it's just more than them too that I listen to as a personal preference. But I guess because if I say to other people, like I said, I can't say Roddy because he's already going. You know, the Givens or the Ties and the YGs and the Mustards, the OTs. So I can't really say them. Joe Moses can't say him. He's because they already going. I fuck with Asia from Compton. I fuck with her shit.
Bam, top 3.
I can't think because D Smoke is going already. He had his moment. And that show really put him on the map and he didn't taking the fuck off. Shouts out to him. I don't want to say Blast because he's getting up there. Same thing with Bino. He got his deal doing his thing. So yeah, I'll probably have to say I'm fucking with Asia, Baby Stone Gorillas, and Blue Bucks.
That's solid. Because those are names definitely that, like you said, may not hit the radio yet, but definitely popping like in the streets. You hear them in the club and shit like that. I hear them
they
in
can say
cars.
they hot. I'll vouch for they say you see them the hottest motherfuckers in the city. Because yeah, y'all niggas.
So that's the level we talking about here. So if anybody approach Sylvon, make sure you let him know, hey man, if you coming on that shit, then you better be at least as hot as them motherfuckers.
At least them. Like it just is what it is.
Yes sir. All right man, give your social media out there. Plug anything you want to plug before we get out this bitch.
I mean same thing. You know, social media, everything. Sylvon Marshall, SYLVON, MARSHALL. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and maybe one day you'll find me on TikTok.
Bam. CoolAzzCam, where they follow you at?
Y'all can follow me at COOLAZZCAM.
Yes, sir. Y'all can follow me at I am DJ Punch. Make sure you follow the podcast at the FMAP Podcast. Make sure you follow Innovative Culture at innovative.culture. Make sure you subscribe to the website, www.theinnovativeculture.com. Subscribe, like, share on YouTube /Innovative Culture. Shout out to Milk Media on the boards. Make sure you follow her at Milkit_media. Make sure you hit her up on her website, www.milkitmediamarketing.com. And make sure you follow me on Instagram, like I said, at I am DJ Punch, the whole Shabon Boo, baby. We out this bitch. Peace.